Hey guys, so for today's video, we're going to be testing out a bunch of new products. So this is going to be a full face of first impressions. I want to just jump right into it because I don't want this video to be too long and I feel like it already will be. So the first thing I feel like I really want to try is this new Too Faced hangover spray. I love their hangover primer, so I was really excited to find out that they came out with a coconut spray. This is the replenishing primer and setting spray. So you can pretty much use this as a primer. So I'm just going to shake it up. It has coconut, water, probiotic based ingredients, and skin revivers. So let's see how this feels. Oh yes. You can definitely smell the coconut, which I love, and I actually thought that this would be really similar to the Marc Jacobs coconut spray that you guys know I love, but this is different. This is like a coconut water, and that's almost like a coconut lotion spray. Like, it's a little bit thicker. This is definitely more watery. Based off of like how easy this is to spray and like the texture, I like this one better, but I'll have to see kind of like how it performs on the skin, of course. I really also want to try this primer. This is the Pore Vanisher Moisturizer Matte Hydrator and Primer by the Estee Edit. I haven't had too much luck with Estee Edit products in the past, to be honest with you guys. So I don't know, I'm hoping that I like this. This is kind of like a moisturizer, but it's supposed to be kind of like a mattifying one. I don't like the smell of this. It's almost like slightly burning my skin a little bit. Well, that's not good. And it almost for some reason feels gritty. It's the strangest thing because it's like a super smooth on my fingers, but on my face it's almost like getting a little bit gritty, and it is burning a tiny bit on the skin. Because it does smell very fragrant, and I hate fragranted makeup, especially skincare and like foundation and stuff, because that just tells me it has a lot of like fake fragrances in it, and it doesn't sit well with my skin. So for foundation, I don't have a new one to try, surprisingly, but I still am kind of playing around with the CoverGirl foundation. I really like them, but I took like a 2-week break from trying them because I was testing out something else. So I feel like now I need to like refresh my mind and like try it again, you know what I mean? I'm just gonna blend this out with a beauty blender. So this shade is a tad bit dark for me right now in terms of matching my body. I'm gonna mix in a little bit of warm beige. So this I'm really excited for. L'Oreal came out with the Infallible Pro Glow concealer, which I need a Pro Matte concealer if they don't already have one, which I don't think they do, but they came out with the Pro Glow concealer. I do like the Pro Glow foundation. I like the formula, but I haven't been able to find, I'm a little itchy. I haven't been able to find a shade in that foundation that I like, so I don't really use it, but I'm excited for the concealer. I really like the wand on this. It's kind of like a flat doe foot. Really creamy so far, just based off of applying it, and I like this color a lot for me. I was afraid it wasn't going to be too light. I mean, light enough. And it is. I like it. Down the nose, bring it up. Cupid's bow and chin. So let's see how this blends. I have a feeling it's going to be more of like a light coverage. I can just tell even just by applying it by how sheer the product is. Oh yeah. I don't know if you guys can see that. Very, very, very like sheer, like especially for the amount that I put. I always put quite a bit of concealer on. Very, very, very sheer. Very like natural and dewy and wet and sheer. I love that for like a natural day. Very dewy and wet. So if you have dry skin, or if you're mature and you have a lot of under eye wrinkles, you'll like this because it's not going to be like cakey. Really nice. I personally would like a bit more coverage. I might apply a little bit of the Tarte concealer over top of it, but this is beautiful, like for a natural. So I'm just going to take a little bit of the Too Faced one, or Tarte one, not Too Faced, and blend that out just because I do want a bit more coverage today. So I'm just going to do a little bit of cream contouring with these Wet n Wild contour sticks, and this one is in the shade Oaks on You. And a little bit of Call Me Maple. And I actually really have been liking the KKW contour stick, regardless of the fact that it's like ridiculously priced. I really like it for the nose because it just like perfectly gets right in there and it just blends out so beautifully. So I haven't really been setting the face with powder too much lately, but I do really want to try this new Too Faced Born This Way Ethereal Setting Powder. So this is supposed to be more of a kind of, a little bit more of a luminous loose powder, if I say. So this is really cool. They have like a little, how do I open this? Yeah, so there's like a little sifter topper, sifter cap, whatever, closer, which I think is really cool. And there's like a little heart, if you guys can see. But I like that because if I just keep the sifter open just a little bit and shake some product out. So for right now, I'm only gonna use a little bit right underneath the eye. So it did like mattify it, but it doesn't look like powdery dry matte. It gives it like a soft natural matte finish, which is nice because like I said, lately I haven't really been powdering too much because I've been enjoying looking a bit more luminous. This is a really cool product that actually one of you guys Snapchatted me and you messaged me, you sent me a picture of this and you're like, you need this right now. So I went and I bought it and I haven't tried it since because there's just been so many new products. But this is the Ciate, if that's how you pronounce it, Dewy Stick. And pretty much what this is like, you know when you're naturally dewy and your face just looks wet? It doesn't have color. It's not silver, it's not a pinky highlight, it's not gold, it's just wet. This is like a clear, like wet highlight. You know what I'm saying? Like you see how right now I have a little bit of that dew? It's not gold or anything, it's just like a natural light. That's kind of what color this is. It's like, it's not really a color. It's just a reflect, a shine. Like so cool. So I think how I'm gonna apply this is on the back of this Sigma 3D HD sponge. I'm going to apply some on here and then just directly. Oh yes. Whoo! Thank you to the subscriber / supporter who sent this, or who like, you know, sent this my way in a way and told me about it. Oh my God, you guys see that? Yes, I love that, and I'll tell you guys why. Because every time I do my makeup and like put on my foundation and I basically have all my creams on, I have like this wet dew on my cheek and it looks bomb. And then the second I even just powder a little bit or like put a little bit of bronzer on, that like wet dew goes away obviously. So I love how you can like bring that wet dew back without having to put on a highlight or like having to have any color. Oh my God, that is beautiful. Like you guys need that right now. Oh my God, I died. Do you guys not see how gorgeous that is? Wow, that is so beautiful. I'm in love. Thank you so much to whoever shared this with me. I swear you guys know me the best and have the best recommendations. I'm just gonna take a little bit of that setting powder and just powder underneath here because I know that I'm not gonna really put any powder products down there, so I wanna just set it a little bit. I'm gonna brighten up the under eye and just take a little bit of this MAC shaping powder. I forgot what the name is, but I will leave it down below. It's just gonna brighten up a little bit. So I'm actually gonna use the bronzer from this new Tarte palette, which I'm also gonna use on the eyes. This is the new Tarte Clay Play Face Shaping Palette. This palette is so gorgeous, you guys, so beautiful. I feel like this shade might be a tad bit too light for me, but I'm gonna try it out and use it as a bronzer. Plus, I'm only gonna use a little bit. I feel like it's so pigmented. Like I just like swatched it on my finger. Yeah, so pigmented. So I'm only gonna try and like take a little bit. Just bronze a little bit. Oh yeah, that is definitely not too light for me. And that is very pigmented. I barely touched it and like I kept dabbing it off, you guys saw? Wow, it's really pretty. I don't really like the other two shades in the palette because they're a bit too cool, but this one has a nice like neutral warmth to it. So even though I don't want to because I'm obsessed with that highlight, I am gonna test out this Too Faced highlight and put it on top in the shade You Light Up My Life. Such a beautiful gold. I'm only gonna take a tiny bit of it because I wanna keep this like natural highlight look, but this is so pretty and the packaging is so gorgeous. Oh, that's really pretty. Very natural, like nothing too pigmented. I feel like this would be prettier for more of a like natural highlight, natural makeup day. It's really pretty though. I'm gonna test it out with this Tarte Brow Mousse that they recently sent over. This is the Waterproof Amazonian Clay Brow Mousse in the shade Rich brown. And I'm also gonna be testing out the brush that they sent over with it. Really nice. I was afraid it's gonna be like too pigmented, but it's not. Like, wow. It's so natural, and the product doesn't come off as easily, which allows you to like not pick up too much. And then it comes off really natural, which is nice. So for the eyes, I do want to play with this Tarte palette. The first thing I am going to do is take this middle matte highlight shade right here, and I am just going to mix it with the first highlight shade too, actually, to make it lighter. And I'm just gonna set the eye. So the first thing I'm going to do is take the same shade I used as a bronzer, tap off the excess because it's very pigmented, and I am just going to take this in the crease, bring it out, and wing it out. Bring it out and wing it out. And then bring it in. Now I'm going to take this beautiful brown, and I'm gonna go kind of angle my brush upwards, go right in here. Right in here and wing it out. And then taking this small blender brush, I'm gonna pick up a tiny bit of that same shade and now blend out what we just put there. So taking a little bit of this first shade, I'm just gonna almost kind of like map out that crease a little bit with it, nothing too crazy or precise. And make sure you take this out as well. These shadows blend out really, really nicely, even as like a bronzer too, just so buttery and very, very pigmented. I'm gonna take the same shade I used as a bronzer and just apply that underneath the eye. And when it comes to the end here, I'm just gonna slightly wing it out a little bit too. I'm also gonna take this gorgeous deep brown, and I am going to apply that underneath the eye too, just to give that really super smoky effect. And I wanna bring the darkness all the way in too, just to keep it super smoky. So next I'm gonna test out this e.l.f. I don't even know what it's called. It doesn't even have like anything on it, but I guess it's just their liquid eyeliner in the shade Jet Black. And I'm just gonna put a really thin line on the top lining my upper lid, and then I might go over with a little bit of brown shadow. So the brush is really thin, which makes it easy to get in those like small areas, but it is super stiff of a brush, so I don't know if I would like this for like a winged liner. I'm just gonna go over it a little bit and press down that brown shadow on it. Very dark brown. So next I really want to test out the new Marc Jacobs Velvet Noir mascara, and this is how the wand looks. So the formula is nice and like not too wet. It's a little bit on the dry side, but so far it's not giving me too much volume. So now moving on to the lips, I think I'm going to start off with the MAC lip liner in the shade Soar. And I'm just gonna shade it in just a little bit. I need to take my finger and smudge it out. Next, I'm gonna take this new shade that NYX actually just launched. This is the NYX Lingerie Liquid Lipstick in the shade Seduction. And I'm just gonna apply like a sheer amount of it. So that is it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed watching this full face of first impressions. I hope you also enjoyed the look that I come up with. Usually these videos are more about testing out the products and not so much the look, but still hopefully you enjoyed. Thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys. Mwah.